Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Selena. All month long, I have been celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month here on the channel with reviews that are directed, written, starring, or center around Latinx stories. And here we are with our final review of the month, and I had to talk about Selena. Selena is a 1997 biographical retelling of the life and tragic death of Tejano music superstar Selena Quintanilla, following from her young Mexican-American upbringing through her seismic rise to international superstardom. This film celebrates the life and career of one of Mexican music's biggest superstars. Selena was written and directed by Gregory Nava, who was an American director of Mexican descent, starring Jennifer Lopez in the title role, who is the child of direct Puerto Rican immigrants, John Cena, who plays Chris Perez, who is also of Puerto Rican descent, and also starring Edward James Olmos, who is also American, but the son of a Mexican immigrant and a Mexican American mother. Now, obviously, this is the most mainstream and well-known of the films I reviewed this year. Most all of us have, at this point, at least heard of the film Selena, have heard of the superstar that was Selena. But I decided I still wanted to review it because it made such an impact in my own personal life, as did the superstar herself. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives when it comes to Selena. The biggest positive, actually, for me is Jennifer Lopez herself. This was the movie, the role, the performance that put J-Lo on the map to begin with. And for very good reason, because she is fantastic as Selena. First, you can just tell that she really cared for Selena and her story, and it really rang true in how she portrayed the singer. But she was able to bring the big charisma, the superstar performance, and energy to life, as well as this really dynamic, dynamite personality in her personal life. It was endearing, it was personal, it was big and star making. It really is a fantastic performance, and a level of performance I don't know if Lopez has actually matched since. So it was what put her on the map and continues to be a beacon of her long acting career. In addition, this film was influenced and approved by Selena Quintanilla's actual real life family, and I appreciated that. I know that others might find that to be a negative, that maybe it was too guarded, too protected of a retelling, but especially coming so fresh off of the event. This was merely 2 years after her horrific death, that I'm happy that we got a celebration of Selena, a triumphant story that showed a Mexican superstar and what she meant to so many people. And that is the story I think that needed to be told. And it's a big reason that had such a big impact on me growing up. This was one of the first instances that I can really remember seeing Mexican American culture put on the big screen like this, to see one of our icons. Growing up, particularly with my dad who loved Selena, I heard this music all the time. So getting to see her story and her life play out through this film was something special to me, as well as to millions upon millions of others who adored her. And it's well done. I think the musical segments are a lot of fun. They obviously use Selena's real singing voice as determined by her family. And Lopez does a great job of selling the lip sync as well, but it really shines. They do a wonderful job of recreating and slightly updating these amazing costumes that she wore in real life to these actual events and these actual concerts. And I think the structure of the story is also really well done, as we open with the final concert that she actually did put on down in Texas, and then kind of going back and going through from a young age all the way up until the scandalous event that led to her death. But it works really well, and oftentimes when biographies try to go from like birth all the way through their life. It's too much, but in this instance, I think they grounded it so that it endeared you to her as a person and sort of that weird cultural struggle. A struggle that, once again, is very relatable to someone like me who's very clearly American, but my family is also very clearly rooted in our Latino roots. So, really finding that balance of culture. And that balance was another opportunity for me to really see myself up on the screen through this film. As a biography, I think it does a great job of educating people and, as I said, endearing them to the subject matter at hand. As a musical, it is a lot of fun with big, grand, fabulous music set pieces. As a romance, it's also beautiful. I think they do a great job of building up Selena and Chris throughout the film and having you, the audience, really like rooting for their relationship. What doesn't work so well then when it comes to Selena? Well, it is pretty standard when it comes to biopics. It certainly doesn't break the mold and give us something way out of the box. And as I said, maybe it is a bit sanitized. And in that sanitation, it may be just a bit too broad rather than focusing in on greater aspects of Selena. It was broadened out to represent kind of Latina culture at the time. Plus, the end events of the film are obviously very different and slightly confusing when you first watch it. You're like, wait, what? They unfold in a beautiful way, but obviously, when it comes to any biopic, the actual events and the story is a little bit jumbled, a little bit patchwork to create a more cinematic effect. But overall, I think that Selena is a really delightful film. It is one that you need to have your box of tissues ready because, unfortunately, Selena's story is tragically cut short and it is played out in a very emotional way through the art of storytelling. But more so, it's a celebration to really get you to fall in love with this beautiful person who is so magnetic and had such a huge impact on not only our community, on the world, as she skyrocketed to that international fame. Plus, as I said, it introduced us to Jennifer Lopez, who continues to be one of the biggest Latina superstars in the world, one of the most recognizable names in the world. And quite honestly, particularly in film, there's not many Latinx superstars that hold that kind of weight. So I'm also thankful that it gave us her career as well. And we are getting a Selena series on Netflix soon. So that will be interesting to see. I'm curious. I haven't actually watched that trailer. I don't really watch a whole lot of trailers before things come out. But I'm definitely interested in checking it out because again, I love Selena so much that I am ready to see what Netflix has to offer. And it'll be interesting to see how they deviate and what type of storytelling they go with. But if you haven't seen the film, if you want to catch up or rewatch before that series comes out, I do think Selena is a wonderful celebration of a superstar that hopefully will not be forgotten anytime soon. So definitely check out Selena if you have not. And it's always a great time to give it another watch. And it's as good a time as ever to give it another watch. That was my review of Selena. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. What do you think of Selena? And more importantly, what is your favorite Selena song? Let me know either in the comment section down below or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!